Oh my gosh. KG and I are back together again, and our whole being is being massively expanded, blown away, recalibrated, reset, on this topic we're about to share, which is that this three-eye atlas. And if you haven't heard of it, uh, you've probably not been online because it's like everywhere and everybody's talking about it. So we thought we would share some insights and ideas about what's going on with this. And it just so happens that as we're doing this recording, so this recording carries the energy of what's happening right now. And that is that Three Eye Atlas is making its closest approach to the sun. And really, I mean, you could put a day or so on either side of that, but today is the most exact, I guess, is according to what the information is that's been coming through. And so, and the sun being the source of light and life for our planet means that this comet, or whatever it happens to be, because some people say it's really not a comet. And, I don't know what the truth of that is, but I trust that this is something that has never been in our consciousness or awareness before. So we are being expanded in amazing ways, and it's connecting with the source of light and life for us. How cool is that? Plus, today, Mercury is at its furthest reach from the sun, so it's expanding in consciousness and awareness as well. And it just moved into the Sagittarius, which is also about the spiritual quest and expanding consciousness and awareness. So these three factors are all working together in such an amazing way. So with that, KG, what do you have to say?
Well, we have this Grand Water Trine that's been activated. Mars is involved in it. The Saturn Neptune conjunction Pisces, they're both back in Pisces now. And Jupiter is in Cancer. And then you have Mars reaching that 29-degree point of Scorpio. So this Grand Water Trine is active with Mars, is active through I'd say the first of week of November. But then we also have other personal planets like the Sun, Venus. Mercury will retrograde over that 29-degree point in Scorpio and then go direct over it. So think Mercury is really always acting as a messenger, but especially now it's really giving these strong messages that really have a lot to do. Well, the Jupiter themes are really highlighted, I think. This object was first discovered on July 1st. It was at the 22-degree Sagittarius near the heart of the galaxy point, which I think is very significant, at least on a symbolic level. It's really activating the heart center of our galaxy. And I think we'll begin to see more of the expression of that as we have the conjunction of the perihelion of the superior conjunction of this object with the sun that starts today. And it will be close to the sun. We won't really be able to see. Some people are saying we'll be able to see by about mid-November. Others are saying early, couple of hours before the sun rises. We may be able to see by the time it is close to passing by Venus. Venus will be involved with this passage of this object. On that day, we do have a Taurus full moon, which I think is very interesting that we do have a lot of these activations happening on a newer full moon, like the first passage of Mars was on October 3rd. And that would have been
A
what,
day or two before the full moon.
yeah, what full moon was that? That would have been
That was the
Aries,
yes, Aries full moon.
Aries full moon. And also we did have the peace agreement, the ceasefire agreement was initiated, I think, on the 9th, just shortly after we had that full moon and the Aries, this object close to Mars. So I think that maybe played a part. Maybe it's looking at things differently for how to assert ourselves, maybe looking at negotiation, finding a negotiating path to peaceful agreements, reaching agreements with people you are in confrontation with. So that this is some of the things I'm seeing right away. There's a lot here that we will cover in
Yes.
our broadcast.
Well, and what I love is like, when the sun and the moon are conjunct, it's a new moon, or when any planet is with the sun, it's like something's being seeded, something's being activated, it's with that source energy. So what's being seeded right now, today, and over the next many weeks actually, and how are we going to see that? And I love that there's a grand trine in water. Grand trines have like a magical, easy flow of energy, but it
Mhm.
also brings in because if we look at expansion of consciousness, but here we are in physical bodies and we have an emotional body, we have a spiritual body, we have a physical body, we have a mental body, we have all these different ways that we experience this reality. And the emotional body is the one that tends to be neglected in the greater collective cultural perspective. It's like, yeah. So that Grand Water Trine is helping to bring in more of that. And a lot of people have been feeling very emotional. I've been hearing about that. It's like, oh yeah. And how do we be with that? How do we allow that? We don't necessarily have to act on those emotions, but hopefully we allow ourselves to feel them and release them if they're more negative emotions, or feel them and energize and act on them if they're more positive emotions, so that we are creating an energetic field that includes these energies. And I just saw something today about how this comet is, it has rainbow, it's like they took a picture, NASA took a picture of it, and it has these rainbow lights. And that kind of, to me, sort of supports the idea that it's maybe not a comet, that it's something else. Because it doesn't look like any comet we've ever seen, or at least I've ever seen. And but that rain, the all the light, the different colors of light energy being connected to this comet. So that also being activated within our being, I
Well,
feel.
that's very interesting because this today is the Aquarius quarter moon, which is, I mean, you think of it as being multicolored. It really is all the colors of the rainbow. It's a very inclusive kind of sign in the zodiac.
Yes.
So, this grand trine is going on until mid-December with all the personal planets going through Scorpio. And then it will go, the trine between Saturn, Neptune, and Cancer will go on actually until the end of the year. So
Right. Yes.
the on the on December 19th, we have a Sagittarius new moon.
Yes.
And so this is when this object is closest to the
Earth.
Earth is on December 19th, which is just, just a couple of days before the solstice.
Yes.
And also that is a Sagittarius new moon. So
Yeah.
again, a very interesting coincidence that it would.
Oh, yes. Coincidence. Synchronicity.
And then also on Jupiter, on it will be closest to Jupiter on March 16th, which is a Pisces new moon on March 18th, and
Yeah.
that's near the spring equinox. Also, I might add that Jupiter is pretty much going to be retrograde during this whole time.
Yeah.
After the 12th, I think it's the 12th,
Think the 11th or
Jupiter,
12th, depending on your time
yeah,
zone. Yeah.
goes retrograde. And
Yeah.
then it goes direct on March 10th.
Yes.
So it's like when it passes Jupiter, it's just Jupiter's in its station, really.
Yeah.
It has only moved a couple of minutes when it's passing by Jupiter. So I think
And
that's
and
extraordinary.
it's so extraordinary. And also something else I found extraordinary, in addition to the new moons and full moons and how all that energy is interwoven, is how this is happening with significant stars. So today, the sun is at 6 Scorpio, when the three-eye atlas is passing the sun. And tomorrow it'll be exact with a star called Kambalia, which is the star of secret knowledge. And one of the things that's being said about this comet is that it's bringing light codes and information and activating our DNA. And, there's a lot of ways. But I'm like, oh my gosh, the star of secret knowledge, the star of the connection to Shambhala or Shambhala, depending on how you want to pronounce that, that star is connected. So it's transmitting also the the secrets and the mysteries from that star via the sun, via to the earth at today. So there's that going on. And then Venus, when it's with Venus on November 3rd, and of course it's a couple of days on either side of that, it's with the star Spica, which is the star most associated with the divine feminine by ancient cultures, and has just so it's one of the magical stars of the ancient alchemists that called a Bohemian star. So this was one of the stars that they would make their magical elixirs and potions and so on. So the comet is with that star on November 3rd, most precisely, and then the full moon is on the 5th, the Taurus full moon. So those energies are all intertwined. And then, as you were saying, the new moon on December 19th is at 28 Sagittarius with galactic center, which is at exact around 27 Sagittarius, but so, so close. So illuminating and sending direct from the center of our galaxy, this new moon and this comet activating Earth, and with that energy, oh, it's just so mind blowing. And when it gets to Jupiter in March, Jupiter will be with the star Sirius, which is another of the magical stars, the ancient alchemists, and considered to be where our whole entire solar system is moving away from Sirius towards another star called Vega. And so we look at, and it's part of the Winter Triangle, and it's a perfect triangle with Betelgeuse and Sirius and Procyon or Procyon. And so we have looked at that as the stellar gateway of our divine origins. And so Jupiter is going to be with that star, with the comet. It's like all of this is just so beyond even how do we articulate to bring this? It's like so big. It's just so, so
Yeah,
big.
the
Yeah.
geometry, the symbolism. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. And the multidimensionality of it all
yes.
and how it feels like this is a blessing that's happening for us. And that the comet is called a hyperbolic. They're saying its trajectory is hyperbolic, meaning it's exaggerated. It's not like a typical comet. So maybe it's not even a comet. We don't really know. Um, some are saying that it's not, some are saying it is, and it's hard to really know. But the main thing is that it's on this trajectory going by the sun. And usually the gravity of the sun can pull something in towards it, but it's just going to go right past it and never come back. So this is like a one-shot deal, and it's here to really activate and amplify whatever it's activating for us at this time. So such a I feel like it's a huge blessing that
Yeah.
we can't even possibly fully comprehend through the mind. It's like more we need to sit with it, feel it, be with it, and allow it to inform us in ways that maybe we haven't been informed before.
Yes, and I wanted to invite everyone in our communities to please share your own personal experiences, what you're experiencing in your own personal life, what you have witnessed in your collective, your community, collective at large. Because I do feel that something deep and collective and primordial is surfacing in our consciousness. So I think it's incumbent upon all of us to participate in this journey that we're on and to share your own, what messages you feel are being brought into your own life, what you've experienced. I think it's important to share. Um,
Absolutely, because as people share, it might inspire someone to recognize something that happened for them that they wouldn't have even necessarily noticed, but then they see the sharing and that ignites and inspires things. And somebody shared with me today that because I posted something about this, and they said that they had had this vision of something they wanted to do next when they woke up this morning. Then they saw my post, and it was like a confirmation for them. So that's why posting and or sharing these things can be, it helps to illuminate and energize the field that we're uh, part of and hopefully co-creating with. Right? So, yeah. And the other thing that I'm inspired by too is the fact that because Mercury just went into Sagittarius today and it's going to go retrograde on the 9th of November at almost 7 degrees of Sagittarius, and that happens to be with the star Antares, the heart of the scorpion, the heart star. So this heart energy is being so activated. So that
Mm.
basically means Mercury's like paused there at its still point for quite a while, and then it'll come back and cross over the exact part of that part of the sky again, and because of the retrograde from our point of view. Anyway, so
So did we, I mean, one of the things, kind of with asking for what's happening in your own personal life, I don't know if we already mentioned about the ceasefire happening right around the time when
yeah, you
three
did
I,
mention that.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
I
so
think
that's a
it,
global piece. That's something
yes,
on the bigger scale of things. And
but
yeah, so keeping track of that too.
yes, what's going on personally as well as globally and sharing that. And
Yeah,
what pieces happen, uh, you know, in synchrony with the conjunction with the sun, and what happens with when it's close to Venus, November 3rd, and December 19th, when it's closest to Earth, and then when in Jupiter, March 16th. I think for us all to be alert to and working with the energies so
right.
that
Now we may need to come back together and do another video because I did see something that somebody was speaking into is that because the unpredictability of the pass by the sun, it
yes,
might change the dates or even not do the thing that it's doing right now.
right,
This is based on what the trajectory is right now.
yes.
So after today, that might change. We don't
So
know.
what about it being within a few degrees of the ecliptic this whole time?
Well, right. Yeah, that's the reason why, and it on that ecliptic path, which is the path that the planets follow, and that's, basically the sun is always on the ecliptic. Other planets can sometimes be above or below the ecliptic, but it's right there that the sun travels that path. Uh, so ecliptic basically means the path of the planets. And so what's the uh, energy that's happening igniting not only planet Earth and the sun and but Venus. It was already done Mars and Venus, and then it'll be passing by Earth and then by Jupiter. So what is that? What's that about? I mean, I think it's just something for us to tune into. I don't know that we know. And the other thing about comets or whatever it is, interstellar objects, that they're unpredictable. We have never experienced this before. We don't know how to engage this, but they just, we could say that there's certain planetary cycles that we know. There's going to be a new moon. There's going to be the sun conjunct Venus, which is happening later in November. There's going to be squares and conjunctions and oppositions and planetary alignments that happen that are predictable. But comets, or what this interstellar object is not predictable. Nobody saw it coming. Nobody knew it was going to happen until they saw it on the 1st of July of this year. So there's a lot of unpredictability, but I feel like it's here to support us in the rapid evolution of all the things that are happening based on the way the planets are showing up, especially the Saturn Neptune crossing the zero Aries point 3 times, coming together at the zero Aries point in
Yeah,
February
the
of
timing of it is,
it's like whoa, and like so it's a cosmic reset or a cosmic rebooting the computer. When you're rebooting the computer, you can't stop that process. Once it's started, it's going to happen.
Yeah, I
So
think this
I
is
think
going to
we're
be
in it.
more far reaching than like an eclipse
Yes,
myself.
exactly. Yeah. And we don't know. I mean, I think we want it to reset. Like I just had to reboot my computer not too long ago. It takes a little while. It's a little frustrating. It's like you have to close all the programs and then open them all back up again and whatever. But every time that happens, when I reopen things, look different. It's amazing how that is. So what is it? How is it going to look different as we go through this reset or this reboot of the whole cosmic reality that we live in? It's
And also, it's moving retrograde, is moving opposite the usual flow of planets. So,
yes,
how is that impacting things, in your opinion?
yes, yes. Yeah, that backwards movement. So you see things differently. If
Hmm.
you walk backwards, if you try to walk backwards, you see things differently. Like you're not even quite sure necessarily where you're putting the next step or whatever you have kind of have to keep an
It's
eye.
kind of like a countercurrent of awareness, kind of
Yes.
shaking you, waking you up,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
seeing
Exactly.
things differently.
And really it feels like that's the whole point is how are we allowing ourselves to see things differently, to not be so I don't know, manipulated by by world events and the ways that it seems like there's a control program to keep people in fear and how
And engaging and embracing our own sovereignty,
yes,
our own
yes,
individuality in a way that benefits the collective.
yes.
It's
Beautiful.
not
I love
just
that.
me or you, it's
Right.
us. It's, but the individual's own needs and what will bring it well-being
Yeah.
are met
That
in
idea that
collective.
we can accomplish so much more together than we ever could on our own. So if we're working together to create a new reality that's based in love, that's based in kindness, that's based in uh, recognition that that everybody could have their needs easily met and to fulfill their purpose and to be here in the best ways possible. If we work together towards that, we could have that instead of
Yes, we have to work together. I mean,
yeah,
I think that's what's going to dawn is that we're better together, that we can really create, we can do a lot if we're joined together, working together.
yes,
And I feel there has been, almost you could say, a program of instilling fear so that we have fear of the other. And, we need to grasp this opportunity to transcend, to integrate these opposites rather than getting off into duality, us and them, seeing it as polarity that needs to be integrated, that we can
yes,
accept that there
yes,
is polarity so that we can have experience.
yes.
Have cold and hot, so you can experience, cold, you don't experience hot. So
Right.
it's more that than getting into a tug war, but more
Yeah.
of appreciating the
Yes.
opposites.
And celebrating. How are we celebrating the fact that we get to be here on the planet at this time, at this rare moment that we've probably never seen? Maybe, I don't know, Earth is billions of years old, so maybe it's happened before, but not in our lifetime, not going to happen again, probably again in our lifetime in this way that it's happening right now.
Well, Jupiter, I think going retrograde in Cancer is going to really help people to slow down
Yes.
and do some emotional nurturance, take care of themselves, really have a deep rethink of their own philosophies, their own values. And I think it's interesting that Jupiter is going to station direct right, as of now, when a three eye atlas will be
With it.
nearby. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And the thing about when Jupiter stations direct on November 11, I mean, retrograde on November 11, around 25 degrees Cancer in that Grand Trine that you're talking about, it's like totally happening there. Um, that it's with a star called Procyon or Procyon. I always called it Procyon, but then other people call it Procyon, so I use both. In the constellation of Canis Minor. And it's one of the three stars of the winter triangle that makes this perfect triangle that I mentioned earlier. And it's also one of the Bohemian stars, the magical stars. So Jupiter's there for a long time. And what they always did was when planets were with those stars, they made their amulets, their talismans, their potions, their elixirs. And so this is another opportunity to do that. And the fact that it's 25 degrees Cancer, um, it is speaking to the fact that how are we nurturing ourselves? What intentions do we have? And if we're not, then we're going to get to see how we're not. If we're pushing too hard, if we're trying to accomplish too much, or we're not taking care of our physical being, our mental and emotional being, our spiritual being, then we're going to get to see that. And the reminder will be to slow down, breathe, allow, be in the moment, meditate, uh, do some sound healing, whatever things that work for you, drumming,
Yeah, it's a
tune
time to
your
really be more intuitive, listen to your intuition, really listen to what your inner guidance is, and to tune in more to yourself as a multidimensional being. I feel like
yeah,
we were talking about how this really is helping activate more of a feeling of our dimensionality
yes.
as
And
human
taking time to
beings.
tune into those other dimensions that we don't always, I mean, we're so programmed to rush around and do this and do that and the next thing and the next thing. And so it's not always easy for us to slow down and say, okay, let me just be with this and see what is trying to come through.
Mhm.
And I will say when I tend to rush around, when I do that, I have been astounded by the things that have come through for me that came out of nowhere. So it's definitely worth it. And this is the time. If wherever there's a time, this is the time to do it. Yep.
Yeah,
I
lots
love
of
it.
support, lots of
Yeah. And
support
at
to
the
do that.
station point, so we have Saturn's retrograde, Neptune's retrograde, Uranus is retrograde. Then we're going to add Mercury. Then we're going to add Jupiter. So we're going to have five retrograde planets, and that is the time to go back and take the deeper look and to feel more deeply into whatever those energies are about and reset, renew, review, reignite, re-inspire. I don't know, all the re-words that you could think of, reinform. Um, and so we've got the help and the support to do that now. So it's time to take advantage of that and allow ourselves to do that so that we can, we're coming into 2026 it's like going to change everything. I mean, 2025 has been in the process of doing that, but it's gaining momentum, and 2026 is going to be amazing.
Yeah, it's going to be a slingshot.
Yeah, good, good. I love that. Yeah. So, is there anything that else we need to speak about this
Well, I
before we?
think we covered a lot of different, are there any particular myths that you're seeing activated by this?
That's a good question. I haven't thought about that.
Well, for me, I think if you look, there seems like a lot of Jupiter Sagittarius, that strong philosophical, your values, just your perception, the way you look at things, your
Yeah.
perspective, that seemed to be getting a reorientation.
Yes. The spiritual quest. And what does that look like and how can we best engage it? And is there anything in the way of that? If there's anything in the way of that, then what do we do to let those things go so we can open the space so we can move forward? Especially once the planets are ready to go forward.
And I was just thinking, we really there's a nice trine that's going up from that area, Sagittarius, up to Chiron and Ceres. They're going to be exactly conjunct Ceres and Chiron the end of February, right at the time when we have that Aries Neptune Saturn 0 degree activation.
Chiron and Eris come back together in March of 2026.
Yeah, and Ceres will be there.
On Ceres will be there too.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
yeah, it
So
conjuncts.
And
makes
that's
that
all
exact
about
happen.
healing the chaotic wounds of the past.
And since it's a trine, it'll be an ease about it,
Right. Yeah,
like an
that has been
obviousness about it.
that Chiron Eris conjunction has been going on all this year. Three exact passes, but the third one's in March. And so we've had a lot of chaos. We could see the chaos, and it's bringing that to our consciousness, bringing that to our awareness, and ideally not to react to it, but to be with it and to recognize that um, there are ways that we can be within ourselves that do not add to the chaos or make it worse, but rather can help maybe to see what it takes to heal it so that it's not affecting us. It's not what drives us. Those wounds are not what drive us.
Yeah, and Ceres is the Demeter, the mother of Persephone, that whole myth of going into the underworld.
Yes.
And then, yeah, so I think that those are elements of what's getting reworked and um, brought more into our awareness for regeneration and healing. So,
Something that's amazing about the Chiron Eris, and I don't know how to bring Cirrus into this exactly because I think her cycle's more like 4 or 5 years, but Chiron has a 50-year cycle. Eris has a 500-year cycle, 550-year cycle. So for them to come together three times in Aries, and she's in Aries the longest, that's that 120 some years. So that started back in the early 1900s, and then Eris will be moving into Taurus later. But they make these three conjunctions towards the end of Aries at the 24, 25-degree mark, which is where a lot of things are happening this year.
mhm.
And um, and that this is happening also in this context of everything else that is happening is just so remarkable and such a gift, really. I mean, we don't always like to have to deal with our
And we're
wounded.
all doing this work. I mean, we're whether no matter how conscious we are with doing the work, I think it's better if you are conscious with
Yeah.
how you work these energies, so they aren't working you, so that you're actually engaged some sort of practice or way with engaging the energy and helping it to move and
Yeah.
find its find an outlet, an expression that is positive and you know
Well, and
resolving
the intent is
resolve the
always to
energy.
create greater strength and healing and wholeness. That's the whole point. And when we resist and fight it, then it gets more chaotic and more
Mhm.
disrupted until we can get to that place where it's
That's a
like
good
finally
point.
surrender and say, okay, I let go. I'm done now. Yeah. So I love that being conscious of that opportunity. So if things are fighting you, not working for you, not flowing for you, maybe it's time to let it go.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just be
Oh my God.
still, be quiet, let life find you. If you feel like you're lost and you don't know what
Yes.
is going on,
Go
just be
into the
still and quiet,
stillness.
and life will find you. You are
Yes.
part of life, and life will come and take you in its arms and take you where you need to go.
Yes. Yeah. It's when we allow the stillness that we've been talking about, like not having to rush into this or try to fix that or make this happen or make that not or keep that from happening or whatever it is that we're feeling ignited by or whatever that might be. So yeah, this is the time. And on the other side of it, we're going to be so happy. I know I've had that happen to me in my life where I've had to let go of things and I fought it and I resisted it and then I finally surrendered and let it go. And on the other side, I was like, why didn't I let this go sooner? Yeah. So, so here we are. We're in it together. If you need a reminder, you
We're
can come
in it
back and listen to the
together,
video.
only one way through.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So thank you, KG. It's
Oh,
always fun
thank
to
you,
do this with
Cayelin.
you.
It's always wonderful being with you.
And so with that, we hope to see you on the other side. We'll probably be doing another update soon, so stay tuned, and we will get through this together.
Goodbye,
Bye.
everyone.